won't be long. One of the things...
He needs some milk.
Good Google Moogle. I told you. This drummer boy, 1980 family. I'm back. Somebody get that man some milk. Hope you had a good day today, family. If not, you know the old adage. Ask yourself why. Family, I'm happy to report that my numbers done shot up a little bit. I got 966 subscribers. I'm counting. I'm kind of proud of myself, because I have been working hard, family. But it's all to y'all guys that have hit that sub button. I appreciate you. And we gonna move this needle. Alright? We gonna raise the averages a little bit. But moving right along. April Mason, I'm back again for part 2, family. And we gonna see what this here entails and what this holds. Alright? Let's get into it.
Is what I have become. And I said, okay, what do I need to do to shift this? I needed to get a divorce because I should have never been married in the first place. And I needed to learn how to love myself more so that when it was time for me to remarry again, I could choose a better partner. So that's how I really got really heavy into this work, because I actually went through it. Yeah. And so, except from the strong part, I didn't come from a bunch of strong, independent women like that. I came from more of the feminine woman household, although, I had maybe 1 or 2 aunts that was a little but overall, my overall upbringing was with more of the feminine energy woman that I looked at as something being weak, not realizing they just chose the wrong men to choose to cover them. The men that they chose could not cover them. And so for me, when I quit, me quitting was 2 years in the making. And I'll tell you this, over the last 2 years, although, people say, why would she close if she was, making money? No, it's very lucrative. Put it like this. I'm gonna keep it at 1,000 with you. If you ever want to make a lot of money, join the dating industry and give women fluff. You see?
So far, I think she pretty much on track, guys. I know a lot of you guys just want to pounce on her, want to jump on just because she's a woman. Yes, and we have heard about the situation with her cousin and that taking black men to task, and come to find out that it was one big lie, one big farce, but she never came back and got things right. We understand that, all right? But I am talking about these talking points right here. So far, she's pretty much on track as far as I can see. They have been guys that have had women that was feminine, and they have dogged them out. Now, I can attest to that. So far, so good. Let's continue.
Derrick Jackson. We all know Derrick Jackson making bank.
I mean, it's not, because you got to remember, these women, a lot of these women, not all, of course, when I say these women, I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking from an experience of over 10 years of this. Wow. So I've dealt with them from all different ranges, So it's safe to say, for me to say, that when women came to me, they didn't come to me to become better. They came to me for a better, for access to a better penis. That's what they came to me for. So one of my best friend told me, he said, April, you're going to have to disconnect or divorce yourself from their results. But I'm like, nah, man, because this worked. It worked for me. It worked, because I'm all excited. I'm like, yes. Girl, if you get yourself right, you do this, become the feminine woman for you first. The man is the byproduct. The man is not the reason why you're here. He is the byproduct. If you do these things, you're not in a hurry to get married. Yeah. And so people would always ask me, how do you do what you do when you're not married? I said, because I am a walking example of what I teach. See, people think that the man is the validator. Although I love you guys, I love a man, just the way y'all walk and how y'all smell and just all of that, right? Mm-hmm. But you're the byproduct.
Yes, the dating industry is very lucrative. $1 billion business. That talking point is correct. I don't have no gripes or any type of issues with that. I don't take umbrage with that. Moving right on. The lead attorney said something about Derrick Jackson. We all know what he was doing. He was fluffing the women. He was fleecing them down, lying to them. but couldn't show you no results. See, we deal in results over here. We don't deal with lip service. You understand? Results only. Either you're winning or either you're losing. There's no in between. There is no gray area. It's white or either black. You understand? Now, as far as the man being the byproduct, I know that really didn't sit well with me, simply because a man is not the byproduct of anything. He is the end all be all. And that's just the truth of the matter. But I think a lot of people caught on to that. That's why the comment section went haywire. Rightfully so, rightfully so. Touche, my niggas, touche, my niggas. Y'all on point. Stay vigilant. Keep your eyes open, fellas. Moving right along.
See, women would think or question me, she don't have a husband, because I wasn't supposed to have a husband while I was going through developing who April was. If I would have remarried during that time, I would have been divorced again.
I do agree with her up to a certain point. But here come where I push back. You can't wait until you're antiquated, ancient of days, old as Methuselah. You can't wait that long. You better find out who you are at a young age. You need to be prepping whenever you in your teens into your early 20s. Moving right along.
Let me go back though. Let me jump up, because that sounds deep. I've never heard anybody say that. When you say men are the byproduct, can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Okay, sure. What I mean by men is the byproduct doesn't mean that we don't need you. What it means is when you become a dope woman for yourself first, the type of man that you want will easily come along. So the man is the byproduct of you becoming a dope woman. You don't become a dope woman for the man. And so that's why a lot of men say, well, when I got with her, after I got her locked in, she changed. Yes, because she only was that to get you. She did not become that. So in my dating academy, I used Teach Me How to Date as the bait. That was the sugar to get them in there. Women that actually did the work in my dating academy will tell you, my whole life changed. My money changed, how I got that promotion on my job. So I just had to use the man as the bait to get them to know themselves better, because women aren't doing that for real. Yes, women are going to more conferences. Yes, women are picking up more, books to read, but they're not doing the hard work to transform. It's difficult to go through the emotional pain that comes with change. I had to realize I wasn't as dope as I thought I was. I'm like, I'm fine, but that was on the outside. Your end result will always tell you how dope or how dope you're not.
So what is a woman test in life then, guys? What is a woman's purpose in life? I'm here to tell you this, and I know a lot of y'all go kick up, make dust. A woman test in life is materials. A man test in life is a woman. You ever heard that before? Let me say it again. A woman testing life is material gain, material goods. A man testing life is a woman. How can that be? Whoever you connected to as a man, your spouse, that is a direct correlation of who you are as a person. So if you got a hood rat, hair green, hair blue a day, that gonna speak volumes about you. Nobody don't have to ask you a bunch of questions, because they know us on the inside, because they can see the fruit standing right beside you. You understand? And a woman test in life is materials. Well, how can you come up with that? Look at the marketing. They gear towards the woman, because the woman spend emotionally most of the time. And look who is the most in debt. Go check it out.
Let me ask you, because when you said men are the byproduct, because the more dope a woman becomes, maybe the better the man that she can pull can be. Like, I resonate with that. I think I like that. But then when you kept going, you were talking about women making money more on their job, women getting these promotions, and that's where a lot of men would be like, well,
okay, let me explain that.
Okay,
I'll explain it to you. So this is what I mean. I teach living a feminine lifestyle. Living a feminine lifestyle means even when you go to work, your energy is you're dominant in the feminine, not necessarily the masculine all day. So although we have several family businesses, and I'm the CEO of a couple of them, and then I have a 27-year-old daughter, and my 25 and 23-year-old sons, they run the business with me as well. However, I intentionally only give 10 to 15% of my masculine energy to my business every day. That means I'm allowing myself a cap so that I can make sure that I am not throwing myself as in the masculine energy as my dominant. There's nothing wrong with a woman being successful at all. It's how she operates in the energy of her success.
Right.
Now, I do agree with that last statement. It's nothing wrong with women being successful, but it's how she operate and function in that success. But now, I got to take her to task on this. How you gonna say that you can gauge how much masculine energy you can exert or whatever? I don't subscribe to that. I just don't. That don't even sound right. That sound like a lie. But it might just be me now. But that don't sound right. So you can gauge 10 to 15% of your masculine energy and all this stuff. I don't subscribe to that. I don't believe that. Now y'all might believe, but I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn too then, right?
Do you think there's a risk in becoming successful? For example, let's just take a quick look at what you were saying that you're starting to see a lot more. You were saying, well, however, the majority of women that come to you have unrealistic expectations. You were saying the selfishness, fake everything. They think they should be chosen because they have a vagina and for the good looks. The entitlement, just not knowing the difference between being a woman and a wise woman, not knowing how to be versus do, thinking that being a feminine woman is weak or a pick-me, placing blame and not taking responsibility or accountability for the choices that they've made in men. And do you think that this is also a byproduct of women becoming more dope? Now they're saying, hey, well, I can now have expectations that are higher, maybe to the extent that they're unrealistic. Maybe I don't want to take blame for anything because I'm so dope. Do you see this as a risk of being more dope?
It's only a risk when women use those things as their validator.
Now, it seemed as though she got back on track. She went off course, and now she done veered back on course again. I do agree with 100% on that. I do concur wholeheartedly, 100%, that whenever that validates a woman, you in trouble, guys. Think because she make a lot of money that she automatically deserve a guy that's making equal her amount or either more. They call it hypergamy or whatever, right? Monkey branch. She think that she deserved the best. She could look like a bag of bricks, and she think because she make $300,000 a year that she deserve Captain America. Oh, let me stop that. Moving right along.
See, I teach the complete opposite. See, my success, like everybody was like, oh my God, I saw you at the Rick Ross Boss Up conference. You were like right in the front. How did, you paid $25,000 to get into the room, right? Yeah, I did. I was one of like 5 women out of maybe 40, 50 men. My resources got me in the room. The feminine woman kept me in the room. 2 different things. Right. So a woman can be successful, and I advocate for women to be successful because a lot of our mothers, although they were more on the submissive side, we don't talk about the abuse that they were dealing with at the hands of the men back then, right? Because they didn't have any resources to say, you know what, I'm going to leave this abuse. I'm going to leave, whether it's emotional, mental, abuse. I'm not really being loved. I'm just being provided for, but at what cost? So there is that balance. It's not this or that, it's this and that. So a lot of times people want us to go back to our, the women back in the 40s and 50s. I don't want us to go back there in all ways because we were not treated equally as far as human beings. I don't think men and women are equal from the stand. I think we are both equal human beings, but even God created us to where we are different, and our differences is what makes us drawn to one another. But I have no problem with a woman being in business or being a successful woman. It's how she does what she does. That's why I trademarked the feminine CEO. That means I'm a woman doing business, not a businesswoman. A businesswoman puts the business before the woman.
I can somewhat rock with what she's saying. I mean, a woman can be successful in that regard, right? But on the flip side, in order to be a successful CEO, you're gonna have to have certain character traits, y'all. You're gonna have to be a go-getter. You can't be all nice, demure, feminine, soft-spoken. Whenever you in a certain position, it calls for a certain type of person. You're gonna have to have a certain type of traits, characters. You have to be cutthroat. Some things you're gonna have to be ruthless. That's just my take on it. You can't be all laid back and soft-spoken and submissive. You're gonna have to be assertive. You're gonna have to be dominant.
So that's what I teach my women, that my tribe, that go ahead and go make your money. But understand these alpha men, these protectors, providers, these men that don't want you to go 50-50, although you're successful, you became self-sufficient for yourself, that type of man don't need you for what you're selling him.
Right.
So now that you understand this, what are you going to do to become more of the divine feminine energy woman? They don't want to do that part because to them it feels weak. But you're coming to the table saying, I want this high 6, 7, 8 figure earning man. And when I ask you what you bring to the table, the first thing you name is your degree. I know how to cook, all of the other stuff that they don't care about. Men with money, men with means don't care if you really, you can cook, that's fine, but they can hire a chef. Everything that you are saying that you can do, they can hire somebody to replace what you do. So when you move the corporate ladder or go get successful in your business, that does not mean you don't be the woman. And a lot of times, especially our men, they say they want this type of woman, but they don't create an environment for that woman to actually be.
I found another flaw. And this is the flaw, guys. Hear me out. Like I just told you, you have to have certain characteristics, certain character traits in order to be a successful CEO or either a owner of a business. You're not going to have time talking about no kids and cooking and doing other stuff. You're not going to be domestic whatsoever, guys. No CEO and no feminine don't even belong in the same breath, in the same sentence. That is inaccurate. 100% inaccurate. You can either be one or the other. Simple as that. Move around.
Because they're so used to doing. When they say, I want a strong woman like my mom, well, what was your mother's quality of life? Did she work 4 and 5 jobs? There's no way I could be with a man that wanted me to work every day, take care of the kids, and be his sex kitten, his sexy vixen, his confidant, his peaceful place, and all of those things. Mm-hmm. So that's why I tell women, you got to decide on what kind of man that you want and understand. Not all of them, but the majority of that kind will have a certain criteria that they look for in a woman. So if you're looking for a high 6, 7, 8 figure earning man, please understand he don't need you for your degree. He don't need you for your good credit. He doesn't need you for those things.
Yeah, let me ask you. So I totally agree with what you're saying. These men who are making, 6, 7, 8 figures. But it seems to me that if the average black man, let's say in the United States, is making, let's say, $45,000 a year, then the black men who are making 6, 7, and 8 figures, those are very few in number. How is it that all this mass of black women can get these very few black men at the top?
They can't. And the reason why, and this is the reason why I use those 6, 7, 8 figure men, because they don't come to me for the $40,000, $50,000 a year men. And there's some great guys, because I always tell them, they're like, I want a high value man. I said, what's your definition of a high value man? Immediately they start with the money and the success, right? I'm like, there's a difference between a high value man and a high earning man. You're listing a high earning man. A high value man can make $40,000, $50,000 a year and having character, integrity. He can have spirituality. He can be a good protector and provider. And when your feminine energy being behind connects with him, your job is to amplify and multiply. And at the same time, he will go out and dominate in the world. And now next thing you know, he making $200,000 a year. But nobody wants to start right there. But these are normally the women that, now I will say this, there is a caliber of woman that's supposed to start at the high 6, 7, 8 figure. She understands her position, right? Yeah. That's not the majority.
Right.
Oh, I tell you, she got a split tongue. She tell truth on one side and then come on the other side and tell, I wouldn't call them lies, but my God, a high earning man versus a high value man. Well, looking at society, and what is the society norm, guys? You could have a man that make $40,000, $50,000, and he could be the perfect guy. The first thing most women gonna call him is broke. Let's just be honest. You make $40,000, $50,000, and I'm talking about in the South. You make $40,000, $50,000. That's average. Okay. Most women go consider you to be dusty. You could be a narcissist, making $1 million a year. They're gonna call you high value. That's just what it is. I don't care how you feel about it. That's just what it is. What is what it's gonna be. Moving right along.
Yeah.
That's not the majority.
Right. And so one of the first things that you mentioned in your post was the unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
Now, I think women can do a lot of things that can improve their value, right, to men. And you mentioned one when you first got on, we were talking about the weight issue. Wow, for a man, you can't even, as a man, I can't even start a conversation about a woman's weight, right? But you would think that you as a woman could be able to broach that. But it seems to me that even if you tried to get Black women to lose weight, let's say a Black woman is 250 pounds, you try to get her to lose weight, it seems like you're going to get some pushback on Facebook and IG and things of that nature. Where is that coming from?
Well, here's the thing. What I do is cause them to look in the mirror. So they come to me for this higher 1 to 10% of Black men is what they come to me for. Mm-hmm. Now I hang out with those men. A lot of those men are single, right? And I get to hear, because what people didn't know, behind the scenes for the last 10 years, I've been the relationship dating coach to a lot of your favorite male celebrities. So I'm around them all the time. I just didn't push that because that was not my focus. It kind of happened by accident. And so now they're coming even harder. So I'm able to speak from that level of man, right? The reason why I always use the 6, 7, 8-figure man and I don't really touch on the average guy is because I want women to see what they're asking for. Meaning, these guys that y'all looking for, they don't want red hair.
Talk about it.
They don't want blondes. And your chocolate is me. That's not what they want. They don't want long fingernails. They don't want a lot of different colors. Pink, neutral colors is fine. They don't want all of the extra eyelashes and all of that stuff. Now, right? So when I make them have to look in the mirror at what they're asking for versus what those men, I said, you got to understand, those men have a list too. I'm around them all the time.
Well, guys, she veered back on course again. She all over the road. If I was a police behind her, I would swear she was high or something, or she was inebriated on the narcotic or something, bobbing and weaving and swerving and doing everything else. Now, I do agree with on that. Nobody of any consequence don't want no woman with no blonde hair. For what? Don't want no green hair on your head, looking like the Grinch. Ain't nobody don't want that. Talking about you up under my arm. Don't want your body all pierced up and tattooed down to your camel toe. Ain't nobody don't want that. I don't. I'm speaking for myself then. Don't want no bird claws up on your fingers. Don't want that. And we definitely don't want you to be morbidly obese. You can't do nothing with that. Ain't nobody got time to be wrestling with you. This ain't no WWE. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for all that, bro. Can't even take you up over the broom if you ever want to get married. Then whenever you get married, you gonna tack on 30 or 40, 50 pounds. You gonna be like, I better leave that alone. Guys, it's been real, guys. But hit that like button. I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, guys. Hit that share button. Let's spread the message. Let's raise the averages. Let's move the needle a little bit, all right? Hit that cash app. I need some money, y'all. Good Lord, now. Donate. I need it. Ooh. Subscribe, family. I got 966 subscribers. I'm about to get 1,000. I need you to hit that subscribe button, family. Thank you in advance. Last but not least, I appreciate you watching and come back to see me. Now you're here. Oh, because there's more. I'm just not getting started, guys. I'm new. I'm green. But come back to see me. Now you're here.